Not yet. What's your status?
The civilian fleet has taken significant losses since Zelkoris sacrificed his ship to destroy a Geth ground cannon. Searching for their lost admiral is the only thing keeping the captains from panicking.
Okay. So, I mean, Chorus is, of course, one of the admirals, which means he is one of the most important political leaders of the Quarians. But why is he so vital? I mean, he was a little bit of a thorn in our side in Mass Effect 2.
What makes finding the Admiral a priority?
Despite opposing the invasion, he did an admirable job protecting our civilian ships. Without him, some of our non-combatants are planning to leave the flotilla. Picture the consequences, if you will.
Permanently leave the flotilla? That does not sound good.
They've lost a leader in a war they didn't want.
Their wants are immaterial. We are committed. Even Zelkoris understood the civilian fleet's importance. The invasion would be stalled without a supply chain, after all.
Okay, so it sounds like we need a way to make sure that those civilians remain protected, and the Admiral that we are trying to rescue is the person who is most capable of doing that.
I'll do what I can. Keep your civilians safe.
I make no promises. My own ships must be coordinated for our final strike on Rannoch.
I'm getting some static.
It appears Zelkoris crashed within range of a Geth jamming tower. You must disable it to contact him. Make sure to proceed with caution.
Zen? Admiral Zen?
It's been a long time since Admiral Chorus left a spaceship. Let's hope he's all right.
We'll see in a minute. Take us in to the tower.
That doesn't look good.
We're taking fire.
Yeah, Cortez. I noticed that. Think we might need to redirect a bit here.
The Geth installed anti-aircraft guns beside the jamming tower.
We'll have to disable them on foot. Once the guns are gone, you take out the tower.
Right, Commander. Setting you down here.
My people
All right.
have been in exile for centuries. To be standing here in the land of my ancestors.
Right. So this is Tally's homeworld. The places where, for centuries, as she said, the Quarian people have been trying to get to. And finally, we are here on Rannoch with a Quarian of our own. And that, in and of itself, is honestly a historic moment. So, there's our Geth Tower. As a reminder, as for what we're trying to do here. So, the Quarian ship carrying Admiral Chorus crash-landed on Rannoch, leaving the civilian fleet without a leader. Land on Rannoch and rescue Admiral Chorus. Does seem as though, as we might have expected, it's going to be easier said than done, though. And so we've heard in the past that Rannoch is a bit of an arid world, and so it's interesting to just theorize, think about what the homeworld was like for the Quarians, because they've been without it for so long, but you can see all the cacti of various varieties. Oceans as well.
Jamming towers, anti-aircraft guns, rockets. Geth must have been building up an army for a while. They've had 3 centuries alone down here.
3 centuries.
I guess we're lucky they're not all wearing nukes for backpacks.
Let's hope not. Okay, so let's see. Well, we have some Geth here. Does not seem to have noticed us yet. We see one, but if you look at our minimap, you can see I'm noticing there may be several more where this one came from. So this might be... Actually, before we engage, let's try to make a point of activating James incendiary ammo, because that is for the entire squad. So let's make sure that's on all weapons. Let's do that. Then make sure that we're actually using our preferred weapons here. For James, probably Typhoon. For Tally, I mean, at least in this case, a little bit longer range, so that means Claymore probably not the best option. We'll stick with the Acolyte.
Sure thing.
And let's also have Tally put her defense drone up, because that is a passive drone that'll stay there for basically as long as we are in combat for. And since we technically aren't in combat yet, it will deactivate itself. So, tell you what, let's save now that we're on Rannoch. Let's activate that drone again. I have accidentally used a power for Shepard. Hopefully that will not attract their attention. It may have attracted their attention. Because now I would actually like to deliberately attract their attention by sabotaging... Probably sabotaging this first Geth over here. Or not. Hold on. There it is. Excuse me, sir. I do believe there was somebody behind you that I would like you to attack instead of us. But, we did just act... Oh, that's the one that we hacked. Okay, for a second I thought it was getting demolished by the other Geth. Fortunately, that does not appear to be the case. There's what Carnage is good for. Setting off incendiary explosions. Our hacked Geth does appear to be the only one left. So, we will... I suppose we didn't really need to use any ammo to take him out, but... Huzzah. Any more where those came from? Moments. Seems like we're in the clear. There's a little bit of ammo. Alright, we used a bullet. Hopefully we'll be fine. There, oh. I hear more bullets. Callie. Don't get ahead of yourself. What is this? Is this the way? Oh. We have a Geth here, which we can salvage for some monies. So that's certainly nice. Callie's just chilling. She's just enjoying being back in our homeworld. But it does kind of look like you're hanging out next to a... Yeah? A Quarian corpse. That's not a good sign.
They came so far.
We need to radio Zalcoris if we're gonna find him. Let's get to that jamming tower.
Okay. Oh, something over here as well. Some wreckage. We can also salvage that. So that's good. Then... anything else in the area here? More ammo. Oh. Afraid that was not the only Quarian to go down here. Afraid not, but as we were saying before, I mean, just Quarians on Rannoch in and of itself is historic. Oh!
You okay, Commander? I'm okay. Watch out for more mines.
So, technically, there were recon mines on the Geth Dreadnought that we went on a little while back, but I'm afraid there may be more here, and that was one just then. I'm pretty sure, or at least... Okay, for a second I thought that was another one. This is the Javelin, which we can pick up, and this is huge. I mean, huge, because this is a new sniper rifle, which, by many accounts, people would say is likely the single best sniper rifle in the entire game, because lots and lots of damage. It can shoot through a crazy amount of cover, and at least when Shepard's using it, also gives some unique ability to actually see through cover, giving you kind of like X-ray vision. So for that reason, it's amazing. And that is why, when we were back on the Citadel most recently, I was talking about how, you know, maybe we don't need to purchase a new sniper rifle after all. Maybe we can just spend our monies on weapon upgrades instead, because I realized we were about to get the Javelin. Now, we won't use it ourselves here right now, because it is quite heavy, as most sniper rifles are, and none of our squad mates use it either, but it is definitely a very nice pickup. A very nice pickup for sure. Okay, let's keep our eyes peeled for... I can see one right there. That is another one of the mines, and those are more Geth. See us from here? They do appear to be moving in. I'm not sure we can avoid their notice for much longer.
Affirmative.
So that's a rocket trooper. That's also a rocket trooper. That's a normal trooper, that's a normal trooper. I think what we want to do here is we want to open by hacking one of the rocket troopers, ideally the one in the back, to cause as much chaos as possible. I think that's our goal, and then we'll take it from there. So, once again, we ideally would have Tally on her defense drone first.
Understood.
Oh, except that, yeah, did attract their attention. And she is now on cooldown. If you guys could just like be in cover here real quick, and then as soon as Tally is off cooldown, give it a second. Then we'll sabotage that guy. Just have them all fight each other. That's the goal. They are rocketing each other, so that is lovely. You just love to see it. You just love to see it. We can, in the meantime, mess a little bit with the basic Geth Trooper, since they are very easily thrown into our singularities. That one, the one that we hacked, is the one that just fell into this. I'm sure. I suppose we'll make it work. And yeah, that's all we needed to do, because the one that we hacked did most of the work for us. Nice. Very nice. Okay. So, let's head over in this direction in that case. Does appear as though we're in the clear now, but we did see, as I was saying before, some more trip mines, and Geth dropping in. Ooh, trying to surprise us here. Well, this is a rocket trooper again. As we were saying before, hacking them does generally seem like a good idea. What if we just have them continue to do all the hard work for us? That's more Geth popping in here. Let's singularity the basic ones. Except we did get both of them. Alright, sure. We'll blow them all up. Get you two? I think we got you. That included the one that we hacked. So, there's still something down here. I can hear it. I think. Yeah. See you on the minimap. I don't see where you actually are, though. One of our teammates is shooting at it, though. I'd love to know what... Oh, now you're dead. Well done, team, I suppose. Good job. I don't know how you killed it, but thank you. I was going to say that we saw some trip mines here previously. You still want to be careful that we don't set one of those off. If we can save now, we might want to do that just because we've done a little bit more combat here. Saw some. Not sure if we happened to have exploded them with some of the combat we were doing before, or if they are still up. Obviously, I would rather not step on them. He says, as I'm sure he's about to step on one of them. You do have a little bit of time once you start hearing it. Dodge out of the way, which is what happened on the first one that we encountered. But, hey, maybe we're fine here for the moment. This does appear to be another one of the Quarian casualties, which is not a good sign. Keep our eyes peeled for more trip mines. That one? No, don't think so. Oh. Well, I think we found more Geth. And that looks like the gun we're trying to deactivate here. So what do we have? We have normal one. There is a rocket trooper over there. So I think once again that is probably our go-to target for the hacks. So let's get you guys in cover-ish. If we give one of you some space here. Maybe we put James here.
Roger that.
Okay, last time we tried to open up, or at least proactively get Tally's defense drone up, it kind of backfired because it seemed as though that might have gotten their attention. We're going to try here. And it does mean that now Tally needs a second before she'll have her cooldown ready to go. We might need to pop out here just to make sure that this guy is visible for Tally. Actually, sabotage, because there we go. We've made our opening. Sorry, James, I did kind of get you out of your position. Getting flanked a little bit by that guy. Please don't sidestep my singularity. It's rude and uncalled for, and I didn't appreciate it. And I would appreciate, what I would appreciate, would be if you would actually do it this time. There may have been two Geth over there. No, this one is the one I was thinking of. It is hiding in the corner. Not for long. Okay, we still have a rocket trooper here and a basic trooper there. Let's go back to hacking you, sabotaging you. Oh, there's one right here that perhaps you can singularity as well. Yeah, the great thing is that although our biotics are not very effective against shields, they generally don't work at all unless we're talking about warp plus throw, that combo, then, well, Tally can just either energy drain or sabotage the people who are shielded, which tend to be the stronger of the Geth. So, does work well. That may be the only one left, which is the one that we had hacked.
AA guns ahead.
No, but there's more over here now. They may have just spawned in. Is this? Geth Trooper still surviving. That's a rocket trooper. Did you get sucked up into the singularity? I think you did. I think you did.
Let's look at the gun's console. We should be able to disable it.
Okay. So now, I would like to believe that we are, at least at the moment, Geth-free. Let's take a second here to look around a bit, see what is in the area. So here's Geth technology that we can salvage. There's more money, so that's useful. Okay. Then, other than that, just looks like lots of cover and lots of ammo. Okay. Let's take a look at the AA gun control. Before we do, let's save.
One of us needs to take those AA guns offline.
Alright, so we need someone to take the AA guns offline, you say? Well, so we could have our engineer tech specialist disable the technology, but that just makes too much sense, because alternatively, we could have our meathead soldier who does nothing but shoot stuff. We could have him do it instead. Surely, that is the way to make it happen, right?
James, get on it.
Tech's not my specialty, but I'll pull a few wires, see what comes out.
Shepard just shakes his head. Well, there you have it. So, James is occupied for the moment as he is trying to disable this gun. That means, for the moment, he cannot assist us. What we do have
Heads up, Geth!
is more Geth incoming here. So let's have Tally take position in cover, preferably over here somewhere. And, just trying to see if there are any particular places where we would really like to be stationed. This may suffice. Just make sure that we get over this cover. Okay, now Tally definitely sabotaged the rocket trooper. That sounds like a good idea. We'll singularity the little guys. Oh, that's a prime. Yeah, that might have been nice to sabotage the prime. But maybe the rocket trooper will blow up the prime, and it won't matter. Get you out of here. The prime is, of course, the most powerful. There is something trying to flank us. It's a basic trooper. We can handle that. Tally, you focus on the big stuff. Namely, that. We'll deal with you. Okay. So, Tally, if you could now sabotage this guy, that would be ideal. There we go. So now we have a prime on our side, which is very, very nice. Rocket Trooper should theoretically attack that. Oh, or us. But there you just saw how much damage the Acolyte does against shields. It's pretty amazing. So normally the Geth would be our greatest weakness as a biotic, except the Acolyte does help cover for that weakness, and of course, Tally can do very well with all the things that we are not so great at. That prime, I think the sabotage may have just worn off. So, I mean, we can try sabotaging again because there do still appear to be other enemies here, although it may just be the combat drone. In which case, it doesn't really have much to attack, but... What I'm wondering is, do we want to just go with a drone or an energy drain on it instead, perhaps? What if we do this? Try to distract it. It's, Will combat drone getting too close to us? Not yet. So what we need to do for the Prime, since it's shielded, is ideally get rid of the shields as quickly as possible. But if we are going to try to do a biotic combo while the shields are up, we need to go Warp Throw, because Singularity does not prime when enemies are shielded. Let's do that. And it's staggered a bit, so that's a good sign. Hit you with this. We have a little bit of time to get an Acolyte shot off, and we may have wanted to use that to hit you. Now, generally speaking, these combat drones go down very quickly and easily. Let's get a quick defense drone up for Tally if we can, because that may be sufficient to get this guy who's trying to flank us. Is there actually another Geth over there, or is it truthfully just the Prime? That I'm not so sure about. Let's... You look like you're still primed for warp, but just in case. Just in case. You are still technically on shield. And actually, come to think of it, I think in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, armored enemies you can still prime with Singularity, even if you can't lift them. It does work for priming, and then you can use warp to detonate or throw to detonate. In single player, that is not the case. You do still need to prime with warp when they are big armored enemies. And there's the combo we're looking for. We got the damage. Good to have the damage. Biotic combos are really good against armored targets. So it's just about down now. That should do the trick. Just have little turrets to deal with now, which I think we can pretty much just one-shot.
AA guns down, Commander.
There we go.
Good.
Not too bad.
Now let's shut down the two by the tower.
Oh, except we have more enemies coming in here, and those are definitely hunters. Those are definitely hunters there. You can see the outline of their cloaks. They are there. There's also a normal trooper, so yeah. No, we're not out of the woods yet. We are not out of the woods yet. What if we... We want a combat drone? Or do we want to sabotage this guy and see if we can get the hunters to fight amongst each other? Maybe we go that route. Oh, actually, the AoE was big enough. It hit all of them, I think. And they were standing right next to each other, so we also got them, multiple of them, with an Acolyte shot, which is pretty sweet. Let's Singularity. Because they are shieldless. And they are close together. Which makes that a pretty sweet combo. And now this hunter is shieldless, which means it can no longer cloak, and means it is vulnerable to Singularity, so we can make it go boom. And I think that's all of them. At least for the moment. At least for the moment. We also have a Geth Spitfire, which was an option. I'll give it a look in just a second here. It is actually a heavy weapon that we can choose to use. It's interesting because in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, it is not a heavy weapon. It is a basic weapon that you can equip as your primary weapon if you would like. But in this case, there's a limited to just 200 ammo, and once this runs out, we lose the weapon. And if we try to switch back over to a different weapon, like the Acolyte, we'll drop it on the ground. You can kind of get a better look at it here, though. It is basically a super fast-firing assault rifle. So I guess we'll hold on to it here for the time being. So this could have been a potential answer against the Prime in particular. And it's interesting, though, because, as I said, in multiplayer, it's not a heavy weapon. I mean, it's strong. In fact, I think I read somewhere that, in theory, it is actually, in multiplayer, the highest DPS weapon. We get magazine rifle upgrade for assault rifles. That's sweet. And Metagel. But it's not like it's totally in a different league damage-wise, which is what surprises me, that it's powerful enough that in single player it's considered a heavy weapon. But, I mean, maybe it's stronger in single player than it is in multiplayer. I suppose that's possible. Let's save again now that we've finished that AA gun over there. Okay, so let's keep our eyes peeled here, because we had seen previously these guys. That's right there is definitely another one of those crypt mines. Placed right in the middle of the road. Now you're gonna have to make that a little more subtle to sneak that past me. That's another weapon mod of some variety. Any enemies here? No? Looks like we're still in the clear. Can we get up here, though? Can we please not hop around? Yes, now we're talking. Shotgun Shredder mod, that's up to rank 5, maybe the maximum. At least in multiplayer, rank 5 is the maximum. So that is a good shotgun mod. In fact, might even be active on some of our... In fact, both of our squad mates here, so that's good to see. Then we have Geth parts we can salvage for monies, so that's good.
Shepard, there's someone alive.
What?
It's okay. We're here.
Dorn Hutst.
You heard my message. Send out a distress call.
Radios are down. You a soldier?
Maintenance. Dorn Hutst. I clean engine parts.
Okay, not a soldier, and it's not looking good right now. What are you doing here?
This place is filled with Geth. You should have hidden.
I thought I could buy the other civilians time. Fight some Geth. There were so many. First time I've even held a gun.
Oh, I mean, admirable cause, yes, but still, so dangerous. So dangerous. I mean, you have anything we can do to try to patch him up here?
Don't move. We've got Metagel.
I've lost too much blood. Go. Look for the Admiral. Destroy that jamming tower. And you can radio him.
We'll find him, Dorn. I promise.
Please. Listen. The civilian fleet didn't want this war. If there's even a chance that Admiral Chorus can get us out alive. And my son. Tell him. Tell Jonah that his father made it to the home world.
We will. Rest well, Dorn has vas Rannoch.
Let's get to that tower.
Touching. And more significant than you might realize, because Jonah, it's not just a random name drop. That is actually the name of a Quarian that we heard reference to in Mass Effect 2 in Tally's loyalty mission when we were, was it the Alarai was the name of the ship, I believe? Where her father had done some experiments on Geth, and there was a message from this Quarian's partner leaving a message saying something about a son named Jonah. And unfortunately, that Quarian was dead when we encountered them. Unfortunately, this Quarian is also dead. So I'm afraid, Jonah, we've seen that both your parents are no longer with us. But as he was just saying, made it to the homeworld, and that is every Quarian's lifelong dream, something that most Quarians would have assumed would be completely impossible, but it's a major accomplishment. So in some ways that's a nice way. It's a nice way to to finish things, getting the chance to at least achieve that big lifelong goal. Okay, 4 dead Quarians here, I'm afraid. Okay, so we have AA gun to both the right and to the left, it seems. So, okay, not sure it matters too much which one we go for here. Again, some ammo, some cover, and there were some Geth hanging around the previous guns as we approach them, so let's stay on alert here. Because, yep, I am seeing some right now, and this is not a great place, because you see, the problem is they have the high ground. They have the high ground. We are toast. There's a pyro. Have we seen any pyros thus far? We did see one at the very first encounter on Rannoch here for this mission, but we made quick work of it. I can't remember if we ever saw any on the Dreadnought, though. I don't think we did. I think we mostly just saw basic Geth troopers, rocket troopers, and hunters. The pyros, well, did we see them? We saw them in Mass Effect 2, right? Let's just say the pyro is, of course, it's a fitting name. There's reason why they're called pyros. So we could either hack this rocket trooper or go for the pyro. And I might actually prefer trying out hacking the pyro. And then we just back it up. And we just let them do their thing. Duke it out a bit. And we see what happens. Especially because Tali now has that ability back. So we can now hack the rocket trooper as well. That may have just hit the cover in front of us, though. That may not have worked. That may not have worked. Tali just took an absolute, I mean, quite literally a rocket to the face. So that's probably not a good thing. I'm pretty sure this rocket is going to be headed for us. Oh, James, you probably should put your fortification on as well, for what it's worth. No, they're targeting Tali again. So, I mean, fortunately, this rocket trooper is now shieldless. So, in theory, if you would walk into our singularity, which you may have just done, we can do that. You're not in our singularity. It's kind of hard to tell what cover you are or are not behind, or this is the rocket trooper that actually has shields. Okay. I mean, there is still another... Oh. I believe that is a rocket trooper who is currently on a turret. So let's sabotage you, because that looks concerning. That looks like a problem. I mean, I can see the little orange stuff around him, so I know that the rocket trooper itself is hacked, but I'm still rather concerned about how it is very much not shooting its teammates right now, and it is still pointing that turret that it is standing behind at us. So that's a little bit of a potential issue. I can't help but feel. There's another rocket trooper. So the problem is we just don't have great options against shielded enemies. Is that the turret shooting at James? Because I feel like it might be. Where's the one that we just attempted to warp? Because I feel like it perhaps did not work. Let's actually get in this cover. Yeah. You're still hacked, and you still appear to be shooting at us. So that's not cool. That is, in fact, that is illegal. I do believe that to be illegal. We might need to get rid of the other people here first, though. Like so. In fact, this guy's explosion might even hit the neighboring people. And because now you no longer have a shield, which means we can get you out from behind the turret and damage the other guy with the explosion and knock him into the singularity. So now he's floating. Oh, I want to blow up as well, though.
Shut that AA gun off.
Okay. So now it appears as though all those Geth are down, but again, let's just make sure that there aren't any surprise appearances. A little ladder down here. Because that could have been a way to flank them, kind of, sort of. Is there anything down here? Interesting little spot. I guess you can go up here as well. That's just a ledge. Huh. Huh. Just an interesting little flanking position there. That theoretically might come of use to us at some point. We got grenade restocks if necessary. Looks like we have... I thought we had two guns here. One there. I thought there was another one over that side as well. Maybe I'm making that up? Maybe I'm making that up. This does also look a lot like one of those control panels, but anyways, let's head over. For what it's worth, this is the turret that I was referring to before, that there was a Geth behind this. Does it really need to reload based on them shooting it? That's interesting. Okay. So, let's head back over here. Let's save. And let's activate, or deactivate, this AA gun.
What do you want on the gun?
Oh, you know. We've got our tech specialist, but we have to have the tech specialist going against our synthetic enemies, right? So we have to have James. We have to have James disabling this gun.
You're on it, James.
If you say so.
Alright, so we still have the turret over here, and we have our Spitfire.
Business, Commander.
Let's try getting on this turret if we can.
More Geth!
And trying to get rid of these guys. Tally, I think, did a very well-timed hack over there. That's a prime. So that is an issue. That's a trooper. We can perhaps deal a bit with that. Let's see. Tally, I'd love for you to get your recharge time back. This is the Spitfire. Okay. Still have the prime, so let's sabotage you. And while you're sabotaged, let's try to shred you with the Spitfire. How good is the damage, you ask? It's good enough that while this guy is sabotaged, at least, we can shred through all of the shields. Actually dealt a fair bit of damage to us, though. Who is this who's... a trooper? That is a trooper. Down below, in that spot that we were saying, would be a decent flanking position. I suspected they might try to do something. Excuse me, sir. Can you stop that? And we have basically 0 ammo left on this thing. That combat drone is going to cause us some trouble if it does get all the way over here. So, I mean, I'd rather not hack that, but, like... Ellie, if you could just, like, real quick sabotage the prime again. It doesn't really have anyone else to shoot at other than the minions that it created. So I'm not so sure if that's going to work. Also, I don't think that hit the combat drone. Maybe it did. Also, there's... oh, that's the Spitfire that we dropped. It has basically 2 ammo in it. So let's warp this prime, which apparently he was primed, because that made an explosion. Then we throw him, blow it up. I did not mean to do whatever it was that I just started to do. And I think it's just this little turret over here.
Guns offline, Commander. Let's get the last one.
Okay, now last time we saw,
Geth, by the door!
some Geth spawn after we finished doing a hack, and that is also the case here, it seems. That's a pyro. That's a trooper. Let's say we go for the pyro with the hack, right? Try to get it to turn around and flame. Oh, so we got both of them? I'm gonna say turn around and get it to flame its friends, but no, they both don't know what to do at this stage. Okay, so we'll just make them go boom. So yeah, sabotage actually I can prime, I guess. I think. That looked like a fire explosion, which would mean that James would have had to have primed with either his... well, someone shooting them with a weapon would prime for fire explosion, I suppose, so could have been anyone. I guess that doesn't make that ridiculous, that unlikely for that to happen. Did we warp you yet? Oh, we have now, which means now you are primed for biotic explosion, which throw can detonate big time. Okay, that may have been the only enemies that spawned in after that one. There is still this turret over here. I mean, it's hard to tell exactly how useful it was to us. I think, dealt a fair bit of damage. Would we have been better served just using our biotic abilities instead? Maybe? Because we were not able to do any abilities while we were on it. Not even direct tally to use them, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to jump off of it. But, okay, again, here's the other gun. So there is another one over here, as we expected there might be. But there are Geth. There are Geth spawning in. That's a pyro. Once again, I think pyros generally, along with rocket troopers, tend to be some of the best targets for sabotage. If we hadn't already almost completely destroyed it. Speaking of rocket troopers. Okay, well, I mean, we don't have anyone to shoot at because we've hacked them both. do that. I think I don't know if the pyro's dead. It appears. Yeah, it's down there. It's dead. There's another mounted turret. Is there any more Geth just chilling out here waiting to pop out and surprise us? Any surprise Geth we should know about here that you would like to inform us of? Don't think so. I think we've encountered all the ones that would currently like to show themselves. So, alright. Allie, don't spook me like that. Oh, that's interesting. It's actually a divide there. I didn't realize that was a thing. But, okay, so we may want to hop over to this gun over here, assuming that Geth are going to swarm us as soon as we start deactivating this gun as well. So once again, good time to save, especially because I think I remembered seeing that. Oh, well, let's get this chest plate. But I think I remembered seeing that there is I guess you'd call it a bug. Yeah, a bug that pops up sometimes where when you're activating these guns, I don't know what exactly it does, but at times you can get to a situation in which the game just kind of gets stuck, and so you might have to reload a save. So yeah, be a little bit aggressive with your saves here in this mission, I think. Interesting to see in the bottom part of the screen there, you see that James is still grayed out as if he's still repairing a gun. Obviously, we had him for a little bit there in between finishing the previous gun and walking up to this one, but you know how this is going to play out. Because James is on this one too.
You're on it, James. If you say so.